Okay, I think I might actually be doing this. God damn, this is loud. Fuck. There we go. Fucking hell. We are live, I guess. I apologize to anyone who is watching this because this is my first actual attempt at streaming a game or whatever. So I will probably do everything wrong. Okay, so since that's what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8 letters are all I have available to me. Oops. Oh my god. How well can you see me? Or hear me, I guess. Audio's good. I don't even know how much to charge for a private show. I'm not a pro yet. Like, you know, I'm probably gonna charge like not enough. Wear a low-cut shirt, that's the ticket. That's good. I like that. Alright, so I don't know, am I doing this? This is weird. It always says that there's one viewer, which I assume is me, like, and then 2 viewers, which I know is my good buddy. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, my sweet cat is not having a good time. He's barfing. This is a weird thing to happen. It's okay, buddy. It's alright. My poor cat is harking up a hairball. It's no good. Garrett suggested doing Twitch streams for the gaming show. That seems like a reasonable thing. Either like... Actually, like, people do that, right? People do role-playing. Yeah, he's my boy. I don't want to show him on camera. Poor guy. Sorry. I wish I could just teach him how to barf on the, like, on the hard floor, like the linoleum. Or my chair pad or whatever. See, I don't want to start playing until he's done. This is really weird. Poor cat. Alright, well, so that was really weird. Maybe it's like one of those things where you're really nervous, but then something really weird or stupid happens, and so like it breaks the nervousness. But I don't think that actually happened. I'm still pretty nervous. So anyway, this is Theme Hospital, one of my favorite games of all time. My personal belief is it is Bullfrog's magnum opus. Just the best game that they ever fucking came out with. Just the right combination of British humor and management sim and just a visual aesthetic and also audio aesthetic. I really enjoy the music for this game, even though it actually gets pretty repetitive after a while. There's only like 8 or 10 songs, and each song is only like 2 or 3 minutes long, but I feel like they really match the aesthetic really well. So let's go ahead and start a new game. I love how serious he is. Alright, we're going to start a new game. I'm not sure why the little text titles didn't show up there. Usually it says like whether you're starting a new game or not. I'm hardcore. I played this game a million fucking times, so like I know how to really reach kind of max efficiency with stuff. So I'll be consultant because that's me. Okay, let's do this thing. I don't know why my mouse isn't showing up. Okay, welcome to your first hospital. Get the place up and running by placing a reception desk, building a GP's office, and hiring a receptionist and doctor. Then wait for some business to come along. It's a good idea to build a psychiatry department and hire a doctor with psychiatric qualifications. A pharmacy and nurse are also essential for curing your patients. Watch out for rogue cases of bloated head. An inflation room will soon sort those out. You'll be looking to cure 10 people and make sure your reputation doesn't drop below 200. You'll notice that, like, the date is already like the 12th of January. Like the clock starts running as soon as the game starts, which is a real drag. Because like while you're checking out your mission objectives or whatever, like you're already running out of time. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and build a doctor's office. This is where a GP's office. This is where folks come in and they get their first diagnosis from the GP's office. GP's office. This is the fundamental diagnosis room in your hospital. New patients are sent here to find out what is wrong with them. They are then sent to either further diagnosis or to a room where they can be cured. You might want to build another GP's office if this one gets too busy. The bigger the room and the more extra objects you place in it, the higher the prestige for the doctor. This is also true of all the occupied rooms. The GP's office requires any doctor. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for checking out my feed, dude. I appreciate it. This like is literally the first time I've ever done this bullshit, so I appreciate you being willing to check it out, help me out. So, alright. I guess I'm gonna keep doing this. You seem like you'll be fine. Thanks. Defo tune in later to watch stuff. Thanks, dude. So important to start hiring people. The secret when you like start a level is to just immediately crank the speed down to the slowest and then just like hire as many people as possible because you're competing with the other hospitals in the area to hire people. Let's see if I can. Yeah, okay, so this is my hospital and then these are the 3 other hospitals. And they are all competing with you, and you can kind of view how close they are to winning just by clicking these buttons. But we don't really care. We're not going to pay a whole lot of attention to that. We're worried about our own shit. So anyway, when we've started the level, there's only so many doctors that are available to hire, and so they can get hired by the other hospitals too. So like you really gotta just hire like all the good guys, the really skilled doctors. So this guy seems alright. He's not great, but he's fine. Let's hire a nurse. The most important stuff in the early game is the GP's office and then the pharmacy, because you can just you can just crank people out. Oh man, whoops, this is weird. Okay. There we go. Alright. So everybody likes having windows. Give him some windows. You want the doctors to be happy, or else they will ask for a lot of raises and stuff, and then they will eventually just quit. Pharmacy. Patients who have been diagnosed and whose treatment is a drug must visit the pharmacy to take their medicine. As more and more drug cures are researched and become available, this room gets busier. You might want to build another pharmacy later. A pharmacy requires a nurse. So I've already hired a nurse, so I can just plop her right in there. I'm going to put out some benches so that folks have somewhere to sit. It's good to have the benches pretty close to the offices. And then one thing that is a bit of a drag is you gotta heat the place, and the radiators don't really crank out that much heat, so I always just crank out the radiators real high, either like almost full heat, usually like that, so that I don't have to put like a radiator every other step. So I have created the GP's office and the pharmacy already, so we are ready to cure some patients. I've got a psychiatrist. You can tell he's a psychiatrist because he's got the little Rorschach blot book. And he's actually my best doctor, but I'll let the more mediocre guy do the majority of the GPing, if that's a word, which it isn't. Okay. Satisfy the financial criteria for this level. Now keep your balance above 1,000 whilst making sure your hospital is running efficiently. So I've opened my hospital by hitting that little guy. What I'm going to do is move my game speed up to normal so that we will actually see people walk in. And let's see, is there anybody coming? Nah, you can't really see anybody. They'll show up eventually. I don't think there's a road up here. So, alright. I'm going to go ahead and build general diagnosis. General diagnosis. So, let's see. I don't want to crowd her, but at the same time, she's kind of really easily crowdable. Yeah, it's a little weird in this first hospital. You don't get a ton of space, of course. So what I will do is build some toilets, make it nice and long, so we can fit a bunch of toilets in. Bam, 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 bonk. It's funny, you can like put windows, but then you can just put toilets in front of the windows. It's not a big deal. So I want to have a pretty decent throughput, so I'll crank up my toilets and sinks. I'll have a bin. I'll actually have 2 radiators so I can cover a lot of ground, and a fire extinguisher even though it's not really necessary. Boops, boops, beeps, bam, bam, bam. Do the radiator over here, cover this one. There, boop, bonk. Oh, there we go. Toilet. Patients feeling a call of nature will need to unburden themselves in the comfort of your toilet facilities. You can build extra stalls and wash basins if you expect a lot of visitors. In some cases, you might consider building further facilities elsewhere in the hospital. Oh. Alright, we've exhausted all our diagnosis machines on this patient, which we don't actually have any diagnosis machines, and we are still not sure what is wrong. What shall we do with the patient? We are going to get him to wait while we build more diagnosis rooms. So he's going to hang out for a little bit, and I'm going to slow the game back down so that I can build general diagnosis. General diagnosis. Sorry, I've played this game a whole lot, so I have all the voices and stuff memorized. Actually, I will do that. Okay, boops, 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 bam. I've got a screen so that the patients can have somewhere to undress behind, and the actual crash cart, and we'll do. So the thing about the radiators is like you just want people to be warm enough and also general diagnosis. Patients who require further diagnosis are sent to be checked here. If a GP's office doesn't find out what is wrong with them, general diagnosis often will. From here, they will be sent back to the GP's office for analysis of the results produced here. A general diagnosis room requires any doctor. So any asshole can be here. You saw he's got this little blue unsmiley face, unhappy face over his head. That means he is cold. And you don't want people to be cold because they will start asking for raises. Generally, it's not that I want them to be unhappy or specifically like don't want to pay them. I just want them to be generally happy so that I don't have to worry about them too much. I'm going to go ahead and build a psychiatric room for the future. Little screen. Gonna put couch here. And actually, yeah, that's fine. Oops. Boop. Boop, boop. Let's see. Should I do? Let's put it over there. That's good. The screen's like one of the least interesting objects here, so we're gonna put 2 more radiators because this is a big room. We'll do a skeleton each. Tendon psychiatry, please. We'll put a radiator over here. That's gonna make him. That radiator is gonna make the psychiatrist warm, but we're not gonna worry about that. He just gets to deal. Got a skeleton, we got a bookcase. I'm not sure what the skeleton does. Psychiatry. Patients diagnosed with psychiatric illnesses must visit the psychiatry department to receive counseling. Psychiatrists can also make diagnoses, finding out what types of illnesses the patients have and, if mental in origin, treat them using the trusty couch. The psychiatry department requires a psychiatrically trained doctor. Christ. Alright. Do some more benches. It's good to have places to sit. Alright, so we've covered most of the really important stuff. In the early game, this is a cure room, psychiatry is a cure room. Like, you can really crank through patients with those 2 options. And then I can also build a ward, which is a place for another nurse to be, where folks can, like, diagnose or whatever. Alright, so I haven't been paying attention, unfortunately, so I probably missed some good doctors in the hiring thing. Oh boy, she's good. She's better than the one that I have. So I'm going to fire the one that I have, sack this person. Are you sure you want to sack this member of staff? Push. Kind of a nice slapping sound effect. Alright, what have we found out? It's the uncommon cold. Cause small particles of snot in the air. Symptoms: runny nose, sneezing, and discolored lungs. Although, like, what are you doing looking at their lungs? Cure: a big swig of uncommon cough medicine made from special ingredients in the pharmacy will cure this. One of the bummers about this game is the fact that every time somebody comes in with a new diagnosis, they tell you, like, hey, we found a new thing. Except that, like, it happens every single level, so it's like you rediscover all the same diseases over and over. Alright, so you can see these are the kind of warm areas. So I'll probably put another one close to the receptionist. She won't mind. Alright, bonk. And the warmer that people are, the more soft drinks they buy. TV personalities, daytime television, symptoms, delusions of being able to present a cookery show, which arguably everybody on Twitch does. A trained psychiatrist must convince the patient to sell the TV and buy a radio. Yeah, you can tell this was made in the 90s. We didn't have the internet then. Alright, Let's see. Let's do ward. Well, actually, let's see if there's any. Yeah, there's not really a good nurse yet. So, what are we gonna do? This is kind of a weird shaped hospital. Should be like fill up these walls and then maybe put a big thing in the middle here. Or I will do, let's see, we got a staff room, that's good. Alright, so here we got a guy, exhausted all our diagnosis machines on this patient. We're still not sure what is wrong. What shall we do with the patient? There's 83% chance we have identified the type of invisibility the patient has. If you weren't like 95% sure, it is not worth taking a chance. Like, you just send the guy home. Because if you give him the wrong cure and he dies in your place, it really tanks your reputation, even more than if you send somebody home. So, we're not doing that. Let's do some more diagnosis. Oh, I don't have the... I haven't had any bloaty head patients, so I'm not bothering to do an inflation room yet. I will need to do a staff room. So let's do that. Where are you? Do I want to do this? Okay, yeah, that lines up real nice. Do that. Yeah. So I'm going to put some windows. Windows make doctors and nurses feel good about themselves. I'm going to put a nice couch. Just a nice couch. Just lovely. Buy a couple of radiators to heat the hall outside the place. You know what? I've already got a sofa. I'll do a pool table and a TV. We'll put the TV here, and we'll do a radiator here, and a radiator here. Boop. Put the plant real close to the door so that the janitor can just come in, do his thing, and leave. Staff room. Your staff get tired as they carry out the jobs. They require this room to relax and refresh themselves. Tired staff slow down, demand more money, and will eventually quit. They also make more mistakes. Building a staff room with plenty for them to do is very worthwhile. Make sure there is room for several staff members at one time. Alright, so this guy, I can't cure him. I'm sending him home. There's also a thing that you can do, diagnosis termination. So if I wanted to make more money off of patients by like over-diagnosing them, I could crank this up, which honestly it never pays. The thing to make me stop having these choices between, trying out a cure and sending home is you can just use these little slidery guys. So we've got 50%, so probably around here 75%. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait until I'm like 90% sure. So that should cover me for accidental deaths. I will make my staff work a little bit harder, so this is probably about 70%. That's good. Okay. Oh boy, I got a lot of people. Alright, we are going to slow the game down so that I can deal with these people before they die or something. Let's see. Discovered a new condition. It is bloaty head. You must build an inflation room to be able to deal with this. What do you want to do with the patient? I'm going to get him to wait around in a hospital for a while, because now that, like, I've got a bunch of these guys showing up, that's enough impetus for me to create this clinic. These clinics are pretty expensive, and they're only like dedicated to a single disease, so usually it's not really like worth it to build it if you don't already have a bunch of money. Or a bunch of patients waiting for that particular room. So, we're going to put the plant away from the radiator, which I'm not sure like how much it actually affects it. Inflation clinic. Patients with the painful yet humorous condition of bloaty head must come to the inflation clinic, where the overlarge cranium will be popped and instantly reinflated to the correct pressure. The inflation clinic requires any doctor. It also requires ongoing maintenance by a handyman. Okay, so that's good. We'll put some benches out front so bloaty head patients can have somewhere to wait. And one of my doctors is angry at me. I'm fed up. Pay me a decent wage. I reckon a raise of 19 should do the trick. So I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a raise because that's fine. He's probably just pissed off because he's cold. That guy's pretty good. I'll hire him. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so everybody else is pretty decent. Let's look at our guys. Ooh, this guy's pretty unhappy. So you can click onto your staff page and check out your staff and see like how happy they are, how tired they are, how skilled they are. It looks like there's a couple of really unhappy folks, and usually what that means is that they are just cold. Like a lot of times the janitors will spend their time kind of wandering around the empty areas of the hospital, which if you haven't put a bunch of radiators around, they're going to be very cold. So I'm going to pay this guy a bonus, pay him off so that I don't have to give him a raise later. This guy's also pretty unhappy, so I don't even know how much money I have. I'm going to give him a couple of bonuses. Looks like he feels pretty good. The poor receptionist, she never gets a break. She never asks for a raise. She never gets unhappy. I mean, like, you might as well just replace her with a robot or something. It's not great. Alright, so let's look here. Okay, so things are pretty well covered in terms of radiators. It's more important than you'd think. It's the weirdest thing, this game. Alright, so I've slowed everything down so that I could deal with that problem, but now everything's really slow. Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5. That guy's pretty good. Alright. I've just hired a pretty decent guy, so I'm gonna fire my least cool guy. Oh, this is a thing. Attention to detail. So he's the least skilled and he has the least attention to detail, so I'm actually just gonna sack this guy. Sorry, bud. Okay. Oh yeah, here's the thing. Poor bloaty head guys. Okay. Oh, I might want to turn the heat down. It looks like folks are hot. Also, what I need to do is buy a drinks machine, because patients who are hot will buy drinks, and that's like 20 bucks a pop. Everybody look at my cat. His name is Max. He's a good boy. Alright, so here is the Minister for Health. He's visiting my hospital. If you please the minister, which means like if he doesn't see a bunch of trash and barf and people are generally happy, he will give you a good review, which will bump your reputation, and also you get some money out of it. So like there's never a time when you don't want to invite him over. Alright, so I've done that. So I need to increase my hospital value. That's fine. I don't... whatever. I'm always looking for, like, the next doctor, because, like, so I've got 5 of these guys, and, you know, this guy's not very good. Let's see. Yeah, so he's out. Alright, so what a well-run hospital. Thanks for inviting me to it. You've been awarded a cash grant of 1,200. Your reputation in the community has been boosted. That's the next to best rating that you can, rating that you can get. The next up would be like 4,000, and that's the best that you can get. So I did pretty good with this guy. Heaped piles. Calls standing around by water coolers. Symptoms feel. Patient feels like he or she, I guess, is sitting on a bag of marbles. Cure. A pleasant yet powerfully acidic drink dissolves the piles from the inside. Gross. So this, yep. So these are all the diseases that I've discovered. It's a little, I honestly am not sure why they have this, but this is streaky urine. Alright, where's the thing? Some graphs. I play it by feel. I don't need graphs. Oh, this guy isn't happy. He wants to... Yeah, I'll give him a wage of 17. Every once in a while you get, like, these just outlandish asks, like, you know, some doctor will decide that he needs, like, a $300 raise or something. And I'm not sure if it's, like a glitch in the game where it overran some value or something, or like they really want 300 bucks. It seems like a lot, but yeah, usually I end up giving those guys the boot. Alright, this guy's pretty unhappy. I think he's too hot, but honestly that's not really a thing that I care about. Alright, how are we doing? So I've basically won at this point. I'm just waiting to win. So I've got, my reputation is 652. It should have been 300. My bank balance is 1,000, or is over 1,000. I've treated 72% of my patients. I've cured 14 people, and my hospital's worth more than 55,000 bucks. So that's fine. Looks like everybody's a little bit cold. This is pretty good. People are generally happy, so that's good. So at this point, I'm just waiting to win, which I likely will win at the end of the thing. Alright, my parents told me that the medical profession paid well, so give me a raise of 20 bucks, or I'll become a computer games producer. Yeah. Remember when the games industry was something you wanted to work in, instead of just like a fucking coal mine like EA is? Alright, what have I... Oh, you know what? I haven't built a ward. Let's see if there's any good nurses to hire first, because I need to have a nurse to run the place. Alright, I'm going to slow the game down a little bit so that I can build this ward real quick. Pick her up and move her out of the way. Treatment the ward. Lovely. Alright, 2 to 2, so I'm gonna go ahead and... It's good to have a really big ward, because, like, it's mostly beds, and the beds take up just a shitload of space. Bam, bam. Alright, so I'm going to... There we go. Yeah. Alright, so I will buy a couple of radiators and another 2 beds. It's good to place the beds first because you gotta place everything around them because they're so big. We'll do the plant by the doors so it's a shorter trip for the janitor. We'll do the radiator in the middle of the wall. There we go, that's good. Bonk. And is there a good place now? Bonk. There we go. Alright, ward. Patients are kept here for observation by a nurse during diagnosis. They remain here prior to having an operation. The ward requires one nurse. Generally speaking, you want to have like at least one doctor or nurse per like room that needs them. And if you allow them to, they will leave their rooms to go like help in other rooms where they're needed, but that gets to be kind of a drag. 1, 2, 3, 4. So currently I have. Oh, that guy's unhappy. Currently I've got 4 doctors, I've got 2 nurses, so that makes sense. I've got a pharmacy and a ward, so that's 1 nurse each. Oof, boy, these guys are really unhappy. Alright. I should probably... No, I've got about the right number of janitors. So yeah, 1 doctor per room. I've got the GP's office, 1. General diagnosis, 2. I've got psychiatry is 3. And the inflator room, which is 4. Which is honestly, I probably don't need... Oh, shit. Yeah, I probably don't need a doctor for the inflator room, but whatever. This is like the first fucking level. And at this point, like, all I do is just kind of sit back and wait to win. Inflator room. Alright, so da-da-da. I have not... Oh, wait. Oh, I'm on the Hall of Shame. Okay, so, like, this... So basically, as you score points in the game, however you do that, like, you move up this Hall of Shame, and then eventually you get onto the Hall of Fame, and then, like, you just stay at the top. Alright, I am the least rich. I have the lowest salary. I'm doing pretty good. I haven't had any deaths. That's really good. I've cured 15 people, which is less than everybody else, but I mean, you know, it's not the size that counts. I've got 27 visitors, which is like next to top, and my total value is pretty good. My value of my hospital is more expensive than everybody else, so that's good. I've got a good reputation. Most everybody comes to my place. I got a valuable place, and my place is clean. And then, yep, still clean, and I haven't had anybody die. So each one of these is worth like a bunch of cash. So 4,000, blah blah blah. So and reputation. So I get a bunch of reputation bumps and a bunch of cash bumps, which is great. And I win because I reached the end of the year, like, and I needed to do everything I needed to do. I did everything I needed to do. Marvelous, you've handled the running of this hospital superbly. Us bigwigs at the Ministry of Health would like to know if you'd be interested in taking on a larger project. There's a job we think you'd be perfect for. The salary would be 11,554. Give it some thought. Are you interested in a job at Sleepy Hollow Hospital? Yes. Ta-da! I've moved up the board. There's a great variety of ailments in the area. Set up your hospital to deal with more patients and plan to build a research department. Remember to keep your establishment clean and try to get your reputation as high as possible. You'll be dealing with diseases like slack tongue, so you'll need a slack tongue clinic. You can also build a cardiogram to help you diagnose new illnesses, which I will need. Both these rooms will need to be researched before you can build them. Now you can also buy extra plots of land to expand your hospital. Use the town map for this. Aim for a reputation of 300, a bank balance of 10,000, and 40 people given. Alright, already wasted like 13 fucking days, so... What do we got? We've got 1 receptionist, so that's fine. Alright, we'll build a reception desk. It's good to, like, buy the reception desk first because you can kind of build everything around it. This is interesting because the hospital isn't symmetrical. You've got like more space over here than you do over here. Oh, whoops. Generally speaking, like, since it takes time to build things, like, it's better to just check out the doctors first, like who you can hire first. Let's see. That guy's pretty good. That guy's pretty good too. Alright, I got 3 doctors. That's probably way more than enough. Oh, she's really good. Everybody else is pretty mediocre. Yeah, okay, I think it's the... Yeah, She's alright. Okay. So basically, the skill level is like it's it. Whoops, I don't want him. Skill level just relates to like how fast and well they do their job. So like, where's my thing? Here we go. So I don't want to make any of those choices as to like, when I want to stop procedure or whatever. So I'm just gonna set this slider. Do. All right, there we go. Okay, so I've got a bunch of doctors just mindlessly wandering around. I'll just move everybody out of the way here. Okay. So we're gonna do the big two, the GP's office. You know what? I will do this so that there's more room for chairs. Alright, got the chair by the door. Got the plant by the door. Real quick to access. Fan by the door. Okay, so this guy's he's not a psychiatrist like the other two guys are, so I'm just going to slap him in here, and he can do whatever he wants to do. Alright, we're going to do pharmacy next, because so by having the radiator right on this wall that's towards the center of the corridor here, I get the spillover heat into this corridor. It's weird how much you think about heat in this stupid game. Alright, so I've got two nurses, I think. Yeah, I've got two nurses, and this one is not as good as this nurse. So since pharmacy is like one of the most important cure rooms in the game, like you want to have somebody who's really good at their job. So I want her in there. Right, put some benches, and so since I've got what am I doing? Let's do a ward. No, do I want to do? Crap. See, this is weird. You like give a reasonable amount of space to people, and then you're running out of space on the other end. So what I will do is I will put the bathroom right here. Nope, I can't because it's just so close to her. What am I gonna do? Yeah, you know what? I'll keep this bathroom here. This is fine. Okay. Why do I put windows in bathrooms? Who knows? It's just a thing I do. Put the toilet there. You don't even really need that many sinks, honestly. In the corner there, and then there. Place our toilets. Honk. Plant right there. Nice and aesthetically pleasing. Between the sinks, that's nice. Washing your hands, it's good. We will crank up the heat, because look, there we go. Alright. And I'm actually going to put a radiator right inside the door. Maybe I won't, actually. Sometimes it's kind of hard to pick stuff up once there we go. Once you placed it, once it's kind of secretly hiding in a corner. Okay, so having done that, what do I got? So we got 2 more plots of land that I can buy. if I wanted to. So if you've got a research room, you can research new cures and new diagnosis equipment and curing equipment and stuff, but it takes up a lot of room, and I don't need that stuff yet, so I'm actually going to wait until later before I do that. Let's see, we've got general diagnosis, that's good to have. Gotta be a 5x5 room. Do I want to do that? I could do a psychiatric office here. Or here. General diagnosis, like, it needs to be 5x5, but it doesn't actually need that much space. It's just, because it's just like a crash cart. Alright, so let's do a radiator here so that the doctor doesn't overheat. We'll put that in the corner. There we go. You can go in there. Hang out. How long have I been doing this? I can't even tell. Good lord. Alright. Having done that, we've opened the hospital, I think. So let's go to normal speed. And I will go ahead and build a psychiatric. Nope, because I can't fit one in there. Damn it. Okay, so since I can't do psychiatric there, I'm going to put the staff room there so that folks can chill out. Go. Alright. Boop, 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 bonk. Boop, boop. I probably won't be able to actually fit everything in here. Crud. There we go. That's good. Alright. So, oh. Okay, so here's the problem, right? Oh. Here's the thing. If you want to just, like, slow stuff down quickly and not have to go to the menu or whatever, all you have to do is, like, ooh, hey, that's great. I'll grab that guy. Okay, so what we've got is a surplus of doctors and not enough rooms for the doctors to be in. We've got 2 grand total places, 2 rooms, so I will need a psychiatrist's office, and that's probably all I'll need for like the early game here, so I'm going to fire. We've got 4 doctors, we don't need 4 doctors. This guy is a psychiatrist, but he's not that great. He's only mediocre, so I'm going to give him the boot because he's costing me $236 a month, so he can go home. Alright, in the meantime, we're going to build a psychiatrist's office. Alright, give it some good space. He's got, let's give him 2 radiators so he doesn't get cold. There we go. Bonk. There we go. And we'll put the screen in the corner. We'll put his comfortable chair right here so that I can put the bookcase. Oh, what I can't. Oh, there we go. That's my skeleton. That's if you're British. We'll put the radiator in this corner so that it covers the hall too. We'll put the plant by the door. That can go there, and that can go. Oh, where am I gonna put my bookcase? God. Oh, there we go. We'll put it right there. You gotta really cram it in sometimes. Do some benches. You're not gonna be. You're not gonna get cold. All right. See, pretty well warmed up. And I think that I probably have enough room for a board. That's good. Maybe not. It's still pretty tight. What I could do, though, is I could build a rudimentary research department, like a small one. Or I could build an inflation clinic. Do I want to do either of those? I'm not sure. Oh, we're still going slow. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I got 1, 2, 3 doctors. Okay, that's good. And I've got 1 extra nurse. I'm gonna go ahead and spring for this. Alright, so I've got this whole empty room ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and build a ward so that she's got somewhere to be, and that's another cure/diagnosis room, so that's good. Jeez, maybe I'll build it over here. Woo! Okay, a lot of space. Okay, couple of radiators, couple extra beds, and there we go. Bonk, 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 bonk. Put a plant in there, make people feel good. Plants are good. People like plants. Oh, see, she's ready to go into the ward, but there's nowhere to sit. How sad. Let's slow the game down to see if there are any good. Okay, so this he's a researcher. He's got the little idea bubble that tells you that he's a researcher. So if I wanted to build my research department now, which I don't because I don't have that much money, I could hire him, even though he's like kind of mediocre at it. I still could. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2. Not a lot. Not really great right now. My receptionist is only mediocre. My 1 janitor is only mediocre. I need to hire another janitor, even if it's not a good one. There we go. Alright. And now we gotta cure some folks. Ugh, I hate it when these guys are, just running around in the halls. Stay in there. Don't be a putz. Okay, so month is about to click over, which means more staff we could potentially hire. Nope. Okay, he's good, so I'll hire him and I'll give one of my other guys the boot. This guy's pretty good. Yeah, nobody else is great. Alright, so we've got 4 of these guys. Okay, so these 2 are extremely detail-oriented, and yet they're not good employees. What does that mean? I don't know. Either way, I don't have the cash to have both these guys on the payroll, so they're going. So that's fine for now. I'm probably going to go into the red here pretty soon. So when you're in an early game and you can't afford a shitload of doctors, you can have your doctors just like wandering around in between the individual rooms, and they can just go where they're needed. See, staff leave rooms, that's what that means. But in the later game, you know, like, it's more important to have the the place running at like max efficiency, and that means that you got to have a doctor in every room all the time because you just can't wait for somebody to show up. So I usually turn off staff leave rooms like once I get like 4 or 5 levels in, or like I'm doing pretty good in terms of cash. So the problem is like, this is what I was talking about. Gut rots. Mrs. O'Malley's good time whiskey cough mixture. Symptoms: no cough, but no stomach wall lining either. Cure: a nurse can administer a selection of dissolved chemicals to coat the tum. Oh, the tum, because this is British. Alright, so... Oh, yeah, see, I'm in the red. But, you know, sometimes you really need to hire somebody new. Like, what if there was a really good receptionist? Sleeping illness. Cause: overactive sleep gland in the roof of the mouth. Symptoms: overwhelming desire to crash out everywhere. Cure: a high dosage of powerful stimulant is administered by a nurse. Alright, I'm gonna place some radiators so people don't get fucking cold around here. There we go. Alright, so yeah, that's nice. And I'll put another one here so that folks don't get cold here. Alright, bloaty head. Oh, crap. Okay, so somebody's got bloaty head. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we've slowed the game down. Jesus Christ. This guy's waiting for a cure. So I've slowed the game down, and now I'm going to, because I don't have any fucking money, I'm going to go borrow some. And I can't remember which. Oh, here we go. Money. Look at this man. Isn't he just the most trustworthy gent? Alright, well, I need 10,000 bucks, so thank you very much. Going to build a clinic, the inflator room. Alright, and then this will fill this nice little spot, and I don't have to get all anxiety ridden about how there's nothing there. Inflator room. Alright. You know what? I need to get another fire extinguisher because put that there, So the inflator room, the inflator specifically, is a very weak machine. It needs a lot of attention from the janitors. It needs a lot of fixing. And eventually when you build a research department, they will research improvements to it, which will give it kind of more HP, but it's never great. It never gets good. It's never something that you don't have to worry about. You always got to check in on it every once in a while. Alright, so... Aung San Suu Kyi, the Burmese Democratic Opposition leader, has expressed a wish to visit your hospital. He sounds like a nice guy. So let's send an invitation. Come hang out at my hospital. I don't know what he wants to see it for, but you know, who knows. TV personalities. Yeah, see, this is the problem. We've already discovered this in the last level, but you know, whatever. Okay, so... Oh, maybe I'll think about a research department. See, 5,000 bucks. I've only got like 6,500 right now, and all of that's borrowed. Woof. Alright, let's slow down and see if I can find a good... Ooh, this guy's real good. Very fast and diligent worker. Alright, so I'm up to 3 of these guys. I'm going to give the boot to the most mediocre. And then I'm gonna look. Ooh, look at this guy. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hire this guy. Ugh, and now see, I need the... see, look at this. I got a bunch of guys here who are pretty good. So I'm going to, instead of building my engineering or research department rather, as I was planning on doing, I'm actually going to replace some of my more mediocre doctors. Later, bud. Alright, what do we got? This guy's... you're out of here. Okay. Okay, so how many doctors do I actually need? 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I've got 5. No, I've got 4. Okay, so that's fine. And somebody's unhappy. You know, something that I've noticed is something that I've noticed over the years playing this game is, like, it seems like the psychiatrists get unhappy quicker than other doctors, and I wonder if that's like a subtle joke that I just never picked up on until now. You know, like, listening to other people's problems all day it's kind of a drag. Stop wandering around, you're making me nervous. I really need to cure some people so that I can gen up some cash to do... Yeah, see? Yeah, see, this the psychiatrist. I'll give him a raise, even though he doesn't deserve it. Asshole. Okay, so VIP's here. Hopefully he'll give me a shining recommendation, and more people will come to my hospital, which means more cures, which means more money. Worst case scenario, it seems like things are going pretty well. I could probably just wait till the end of the year, when I will get a bunch of awards for being like a good hospital, and then I can pay off my debts. But that seems like a little far out. I mean, it's like August. Yeah. Okay, what do we got? You're not very good. Boot. And boot. Okay. Heat bottles. Oh, he's not very happy. I think it's because I fired his nurse while he was in the middle of being cured before. Okay, so right now I'm just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. I'm just like waiting to make money. Oh, here we go. We got our first slag tongue patient. So I don't have anything to cure this guy, and I don't have a research department to like figure out a way to cure this guy. So I'm gonna have to send this guy home. If you send the patient to the research department, they put him in a machine which is an instant kill. It's like an autopsy machine, except he's still alive, and so it kills him, and you take a reputation hit for killing a patient. So that's basically never an option. I'm not sure why they give you that option, because it's like, you wouldn't do that. I don't even know if it helps you. I don't even know if it helps you, like, figure out how to cure and or, do whatever. Ugh. Yeah, see, here's my psychiatrist again. He wants another raise, which I can give him, even though I don't have any money. Somehow. I should check out the rest of my guys. Oh, he's pretty unhappy. Sometimes when you can check out and see, like, that a person is very unhappy because they're very tired and they've, like, overworked themselves, in which case you can just pick them up and take them to the break room. Because for some reason they can't, like, figure it out themselves. I'm not sure what the deal is. Well, that guy's pretty good. I don't actually need him right now, but it would be nice to have him. Yeah, so right now it looks like I'm probably just gonna, like, wait till the end of the... yeah, it's fine, I'll give you a raise. It looks like I'm probably gonna wait till the end of the year. Oh. Alright. Okay, so not great, not bad. After visiting your hospital, Aung San Suu Kyi, the Burmese Democratic Opposition leader, remarked, not a bad medical establishment, certainly. You've been awarded a cash grant of 800. Thank you for visiting the hospital. So, basically, he thought it was alright. I'm not sure exactly, like, what he didn't like about it, but, I mean, it's better than him not liking it, so. So, right now, I'm still doing pretty good. Like, my hospital's worth a bunch of money, not quite enough, but, almost enough. I've cured a decent number of people. I've treated a whole bunch of the people, almost all the people, and I don't have enough fucking money. But my reputation is good. Oh, I should, like, save, I guess. Ugh. Jesus Christ, dude. This guy's never happy. I think it's... Oh, you know what? He's super tired. That's why, idiot. It's not my fault that you're overworking yourself. You joke. See. So we've got a slack tongue patient. I know that I can't cure this person, but it does give me money when they, like, get diagnosed, so I'll wait for her to get diagnosed and then I'll send her home. So, sorry, that's not great. Sure, I guess. I really need to build this research department, but I still don't have the cash, and I likely won't have the cash until the end of the year. Speed up the game a little bit. It's great when you, like, really speed things up. Oh, let's do... Yeah, man. Something about this level, they don't give you, like, a good receptionist. So at the very least, I'll do pretty good at the end of the year because I won't have killed anybody and I'll have a pretty good reputation. Man, nobody's used my drinks machine. I gotta crank up the heat. This guy's pretty unhappy. It's always better to give them a bonus than it is a raise, because people aren't happy with raises. Like, you give them a raise and they're happy, but it's just like, it doesn't last. Money can't buy happiness is what I'm saying. Okay, so I've gone up a little bit on the Hall of Shame list. I'm still okay. I've got the highest salary, which just means that I got the most money at the start of the level, but that doesn't really mean anything. No deaths. I've cured a lot more than everybody else, but I'm still lagging behind in terms of money, so figure out how that works on your own. My hospital's worth way more than everybody's, and I've got more visitor than everybody else. I've built a best reputation. I got even more reputation. Highest reputation this year, and I kept everybody alive. So, yay! Alright, so having done that, I'm going to pay off my loans so I don't keep paying, what do you call it, interest. Hey, here's my guy. Bam. Okay. Okay, so I've got some money. I found a good researcher, a consultant level researcher. I'm going. Oh, okay. This is the radiator that I had from earlier. Okay. Bum, bum. It helps to have a really big research department, like physically very large, because you end up having just tons of crap that goes in here. And also it's good to have like multiple researchers. There we go. All right. So I'm only going to have one researcher here, so I'm not going to get another desk, but I will. Let's do this and this. Put that there. Put that there. Bonk. Bam. Alright, research room. New drugs and cures are invented or improved in the research room. It's a vital part of your hospital and will do wonders for your cure percentages. The research room requires a doctor with research qualifications, which I just got. He's a consultant and he's a researcher, so I'm gonna pick him up and put him in there, and he's never gonna fucking leave this room. I mean, he will to like take a break or whatever, but like this is what he does for basically the rest of his fucking life. Just wanders around in his little room, checking the file cabinet. Okay, so can finally do that. Alright, so what I should be doing, now that I've built a research room, I can go to the research panel. I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm not going to do any drug research because I don't need it. I don't need any improvements. I don't need any specialization. We're going to put cure equipment and diagnosis equipment way up. Alright. And he's just going to crank away for the rest of his life. I'm going to put another radiator here so people don't get cold. Eventually, once the guy researches it, I will put a slack time clinic, and we can watch the slack time clinic happen. Yeah, sure. Sometimes if you see people getting happy, even if they're not that tired, you can just put them in the break room, and it makes them happier. people are unhappy. He wants a raise of 75 bucks. I will give it to him because he's probably pretty okay. But see, this is the problem. So this guy has overworked himself. Why has he done that? Who fucking knows? This guy's also unhappy. I'm generous. I'm super generous. We're going to put this back to 60%. Maybe that'll help people not overwork themselves, but I kind of doubt it. Everybody's taking a break. Alright, King Bernard of the Netherlands has expressed a wish to visit your hospital. Sure, come on by, buddy. This is great. Everybody's like, this guy's not done, but we really need to crank some of these patients through, so. How we doing? Oh, I can't give bonuses because I don't have any money. So you can give raises if you're in the red, but you can't give bonuses. Alright, well what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the game, and I'm going to quit because I think I'm done for the evening. This has been like my first streaming session, so thanks for hanging out with me, I guess. Me and my cat. Come on, buddy. My cat, Max. He's a good boy. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching me play Theme Hospital.